Shabbat Shalom. This Shabbat we read and study Parashat Balak. Balak sees the progress of the people of Israel, and he sees that the people of Israel enjoy the blessing of God, and he is afraid of the people of Israel. Balak understands that the blessing over the children of Israel is from above, a spiritual blessing, blessing and strength that cannot be measured physically. And so he, Balak, hires Bilam's services in order to curse the people of Israel and to harm their spiritual power, to harm Israel's military victories and progress. Bilam goes with Balak to curse Israel, but God does not allow him to curse Israel, and instead he blesses Israel several times, one of which is one of the most famous blessings that we pray to this day in every synagogue in the world, including in our congregation. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Israel. How goodly are your tents, Jacob, your dwelling places, Israel. God expects us to be good children. Our behavior sometimes causes us to distance ourselves from God. But even this is only between us and God. When there's an external threat, such as Bilam, who sought the weak link among the people of Israel, God's love is revealed. And this love shows us that God never abandoned us and will never abandon us forever and ever. Inwardly, God can be angry with us as the people of Israel, but no one else can criticize Israel. That is God's exclusive right. It's like with us. At home, we can quarrel and get angry at our family, but it's only inward. Once an outsider dares say a bad word about a family member, and we'll protect him. A foreigner does not have the right to open his mouth. He does not understand. He does not belong. In the face of foreigners, we, as the family, the community, the people, we unite, and those tensions disappear. Towards the end of the parasha, as in all the recent weekly Torah portions, the people of Israel leave their first love. They leave God. They rebel against God. And this leads to a plague. And at the very end of the parasha, in the last verses, we encounter a young priest, energetic, zealous for God, who not only speaks, but acts. And in fact, he gets his own Torah portion, named after him, which we will learn next week. Bilam is a very interesting figure. If we read between the lines, we understand that Bilam is one of the greatest prophets in the Torah. He is filled with the Spirit of God. This parasha shows us that Bilam speaks with God on a regular basis. And here we stop and think for ourselves, wait, who is this prophet? The people of Israel see him as the enemy, as the villain. Who is this wicked man who seeks God and immediately receives an answer? Who is this prophet who is written as being one who hears the words of God, who has knowledge from the Most High? The New Testament describes Bilam as a false prophet. That is a true prophet, but one who chooses the path of evil, who is greedy, full of self-importance and pride, one who seeks to fulfill his own lust. We find this description in 2 Peter chapter 2. In the Epistle of Jude, it is written that he is a man without fruit. This means you can be a great wise man and even know the secrets of heaven and still be an evil and greedy, seeking wisdom for your own personal benefit. We can learn an important lesson from Bilam. It does not matter how much knowledge you have. It is what you do with this knowledge. This is exactly what Paul is talking about in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. If I have the gift of prophecy, and I can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have faith that can move mountains, but I do not have love, I am nothing. All knowledge, all secrets, all prophecy, all these are worthless without love. Love is caring for others, goodwill towards others, protecting others. We, as believers, we all know the Bible. We're all wise in one form or another. but we tend to delve into our faith, the correct theology, the proper understanding of the Bible, the study and interpretation of the principle of our faith. The question that arises in the context of Balaam is, what do you do with this knowledge? Is it only for personal benefit, personal salvation? Do we live out our knowledge for those around us, for our families? For the Bible dwells mainly on the relationships between men and his fellow men, on helping others, on caring. Let's return to the parasha. The Moabites see the progress of Israel. They see the victories, and they are afraid. Balak, king of Moab, turns to Balaam because it is clear to all the nations around that Israel's success is supernatural. And the Moabites think that an intervention of a prophet like Balaam can tip the scales. Why did Balak offer Balaam large sums of money? And after the first officials return without Balaam, Balak thinks that Balaam wants more money and more honor. So he sends more numerous and distinguished officials and promises him more money. This is because Balak thinks that if a prophet does certain actions, he can cause God to comply with his request. We can only chuckle at Balak's way of thinking. What does he expect? As if you could buy God with a little bit of money, as if God needs our money, or that somehow Balaam had the power to influence God and have him curse Israel for a certain amount. But like Balak, many people, Jews and Christians, see God as a rich and good grandfather, filled with treats. This approach is not so far from us, all of us. Some more, some less. Think we can buy a blessing from God. We think we can make give and take deals with God. You know, take a prayer, give health. Take a mitzvah, give blessing. Take a tithe, give money. I visited the house of God, now bless my life. This approach hits home because it's based on truth. Because it is possible to speak with God. You know what? It's even possible to influence God. It is possible through a true prayer, one that comes out of the heart, to touch God. We can all lift our eyes to heaven, open our hearts, and see and feel that there is someone who listens and hears us. God hears us. Please leave a verse in the comments below that you think sums up or adds to the discussion today. Shabbat Shalom.